Hello, what is up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Maxi here, and I am back for some more of yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Kart Arcade GP2 for the arcade machines or on the Wii emulation from my homebrew channel and stuff like that. So, yeah, last time we actually did manage to able to accomplish the forms of the Waluigi Cup by simply able to select Waluigi himself. And today, for this episode, is the fact that we're about to be moving on to the next cup in the game, which, by the looks of all that, we're going back into the familiar cup ever since in Mario Kart Arcade GP1. That's what appears to be the DK Cup. So, yeah, originally I was expecting to try to select Donkey Kong for this video, but I think I might actually go for a little bit of a different twist to it. To be more specifically, who I'm able to actually play as. No matter what though, let's go for Miss Pac-Man today, because, well, we've almost played as every single of those lightweighted characters, so I think we should probably go for Miss Pac-Man for this point today, and, just to see her in action on the actual Mario Kart game. Now, I would like to actually go for that particular second card, but I'm actually going to be going through likely the normal type cards, so I just want to classify that for mentioning that. So, anyways, let's hop over to DK Cup, which we still ended up on a normal mode. So in this case, about the fact that, well, I think relatively speaking, now I suppose I forgot to mention about, actually I'll get to more in a second, because the first track we're going to be running to is the DK Jungle, which, by the looks of all that stuff though, it's pretty much exactly the same track as you remember from Mario Kart Arcade GP1, except the fact that with, well, Waluigi and Momenchi decided able to join in the actual race this time around. So, although I'm not exactly sure if they're able to actually join in the race yet, but I'll see what happens as soon as I'm able to actually just decide to go in front. Although I do know that Momenchi, she's actually in front right now. So I'm not exactly sure what gender Momenchi was supposed to be. But, yeah, let me know in the comments. So, because of that, though, yeah, today's day is, of course, the 5th of December today. In this case, in 2021 today. Only 20 more days to go until, specifically, Christmas time. So, because of that, though, yeah, it's actually getting pretty dang close, I'm not gonna lie, for the sake of the forms of how the fact that, well, not to mention about the fact that, in addition to when the Christmas is getting closer to its, come, but also is the fact that we are, well, almost nearly at the end of 2021, so because of that though, yeah, it's actually getting really fast, kind of thing about it. Especially noticeable about the fact that once we keep on doing some more Let's Plays in particular, then the time itself just went zooming, crossing by. So, anyways, let's begin with the forms of this first track, like I said earlier, and that's what appears to be by the forms of DK Jungle. Again, it plays exactly like the forms of how it does the Mario Kart Arcade GP, the original game, except the fact that you notice on the laps counter is actually slightly different this time around. Like, I believe in the original game, usually it gets like 7 laps, whilst in here, it's now 8 laps, so it's slightly longer than the forms of how it does on the first game this time around. So, again, I can assure you, it might be assuming about the fact of what version of the game you're playing, depending on the actual downloads or something. I have no idea, but in this case, though, we'll try to able to stick up with that. So, because as far as I can remember, that usually, relatively speaking, that in Mario Kart Arcade GP1, for the sake of the Mario Cup, that I believe in Mario Highway, that I believe you're able to actually get like 6 laps or something like that, much like the forms of how it does it on the Arcade GP2. So, as a result though, I have no words to able to say about this, because I know it has been quite a while since I actually mentioned some things like this, especially noticeable because, well, I'm busy just managed able to play through some of my Switch games recently, so including buddy forms of, well, I was expecting to able to take a break on Mario Party Superstars from now on, for the sake of likely, eventually try to save it up for a Let's Play in the future. Oh, I just realized that, almost every single, like, Pac-Man characters is almost going to be standing on the podium, although despite the fact that, well, you know, Pac-Man is on 2nd podium, and then Luigi was on the 3rd podium, so you could imagine if Blinky will be in 3rd, and then if I was in 1st, then there'll be a whole gang of the Pac-Man characters on the actual standing podium. So, it will be interesting and cool at the same time if I would like to able to snapshot it. So, but oh well, no big deal though, but at least we can able to actually unlock the next Kart, which by the forms of the second Kart for Waluigi, despite the fact that we've already selected him ever since in yesterday. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. So let's move on to the next track, which appears to be Bananan Ruins. So you might be familiar with that track though, so either way though, we'll get this thing to it. And of course, the prize item, if you do manage to able to get into first place, is obviously going to be the shield. So either way though, yeah, let's hop straight into this. And of course, like the original game, is the fact that you notice on the right side of the actual that perspective right there for about a few seconds ago, that you notice about the fact that technically Diddy Kong makes an appearance. Well, I'm not exactly sure if I can usually count it that, but one of those NPC characters is almost inspired by kind of a similar character model as in Diddy Kong Racing for the sake of Diddy Kong himself, except the fact that it was actually on well, a much more advanced hardware as opposed to the forms of how it does it on the N64. But usually, because of that, though, it might be hard to explain. Because I was expecting to try to mention something more, but unfortunately, though, that doesn't seem the case. I suppose I should probably explain about this as well, that I accidentally did say about the fact that there was supposedly able to actually able to reveal the next Sonic movie trailer, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, but it turns out is a, well, a massive, negative feedback when it comes to likely that once again, the rumors are up to no good again, so as a result, if you think the actual trailer is up during the forms of Thanksgiving Day, but someone said in the comments down below, ever since on the first part of this playthrough, that unfortunately the trailer does not show up yet. So as a result though, I just felt a little bit more of a bummer for that. Especially noticeable about the fact that, wow, I was so desperate to see what's going to be up next for Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise. Well, at least if I was assuming so anyway. Although, maybe it's a bit too early to predict right now. Especially noticeable about the fact that I'm guessing it's more accurately, it's like, it's a bit too early routine or something like that. Well, I'm not exactly sure if I was going to able to counterbalance that, but I have no words to say about this, I'm afraid, so anyways, let's go ahead and try to jump over that puddle, so that way we don't able to actually slow down and stuff like that. So yeah, for the most part, DK Cup is basically, it's like an easy kind of cup to able to go through, despite the fact that the difficulty icon is actually did say normal mode. So I think, relatively speaking, is the fact that one thing I should probably mention about this is the fact that usually, unlike the forms of how it does it on Mario Kart Arcade GP1, that basically that usually in the first game it does only contain like one easy cup, and that's what appears to be the Mario Cup. And then on normal difficulty, it usually gets like 2 of them. And then on the forms of in Master difficulty cups, ranging from the Pac-Man Cup and the Bowser Cup and the Rainbow Cup, that the difficulty is Master Mode, so it's nothing different from this game. So as a result though, that's usually for this game this time around, we're able to actually have like 2 easy cups, which are both Yoshi Cup and the Mario Cup. And then this time around, we also managed to have 3 normal difficulty cups, which are the Waluigi Cup, along with the DK Cup, and the Wario Cup. So, and as far as the forms of the Pac-Man Cup, and the Bowser Cup, and the Rainbow Cup, they're all basically Master difficulty. So, yeah, it's nothing different from there. So, anyways, let's move on, back onto the forms of, well, DK Jungle again, except now, as you can see on the 3rd round, that it now starts raining. So because of that, though, similar to the forms of how it does in the first game for sure, so yeah, there's nothing different from there. So, aside from the laps count is actually a little bit different this time, so it's now 8 laps as opposed to 7 laps, unlike the first game. So, and I suppose I should probably mention about this too, that another huge difference is between the forms of in the first game and the second game, is that on the actual award ceremony screen, that the one time you were able to actually get not only a abundance of flowers, but also you're able to get the trophy if you're able to actually stand on the first podium. That this time around is the fact that there's actually some slightly significant differences, is that I'm pretty sure there's actually more Piantas at the back of the actual award ceremony screen, whilst compared to in the first game, it's basically just all those all those racers joining the race managed to able to actually just to celebrate by either clapping or just cheering for joy when it comes to likely if someone is in third or second. So either way though, and also with the actual Mario Kart font color, it's actually a lot different. Like I believe the first game's color was actually in red and white for that checkerboard, whilst I believe in the second game it's actually changed to yellow this time around, which I'm usually concerning with that, especially noticeable if you can clearly tell what the actual some specific differences between either the first game or the second game for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much as far as I can usually describe about it. So anyway, so let's go ahead and use the shield from now on, although there's nothing right to home about because obviously that several other opponents are slightly behind, especially noticeable despite the fact that this is still on 100cc, but I couldn't help it for myself about the fact that I'm not exactly the master of the game yet, but eventually on my own time I will able to play the game in 150cc class, I'm pretty sure. So either way though, because as a result, in order to able to 100% the game is the fact that you have to collect every single items for the unlockable items. So in addition to able to keep on collecting some more Mario coins to able to not only trying to unlock even more items for some specific stuff, but also unlock more photo frames and of course second cards for those other characters respectively. So yeah, that might be something worth knowing for the actual 100% requirements. So anyway, so I don't think I can probably save that particular title card or anything else like that, because I'm going to keep the previous one for now until whenever we're able to finish the cup. So, and I think I actually got something rewarding, such as a fairy? Huh. This almost reminds me like Tinkerbell for some reason. Although that particular item might be exclusive for Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. I'm pretty sure the fairy was actually related to Pac-Land. Like, I've heard of the game before, especially noticeable as almost like a platformer, ultra-scrolling kind of game, but usually I haven't played it before, so I definitely heard of it, but never actually played it. So anyways, now let's go on to Bananan Ruins for the second time, and this time we need to able to pick whatever items as we pleasure to able to choose. So yeah, that pretty much summed up from there. Unlike the forms of how it does it on Mario Kart Arcade GP DX or something like that, I believe you have to able to sort out with the items, like you can either just sort it out for yourself by choosing 3 of those items, whatever you wish, just like in the other 2 games, while there are a few times though you have to rely on the forms of selecting the ones you have to use the item roulette wheel for choosing 3 items at a time, in addition to that, choosing a different card. So yeah, that's something that's worth noting for the sake of likely a huge differences between the latest installments of the Mario Kart Arcade GP game compared to the old school ones. So yeah, likely for the first game and the second game for sure. So there we go, on to the forms of Bananan Ruins, like I said earlier, and except the fact that unlike the second rounds, it's all fine and dandy and everything, with all that nice weapon condition, whilst in the 4th round, it's now raining. So speaking of raining though, jeez Louise, in the past few days, on the forms of the UK at the moment, oh jeez, it's gone stormy for the past few days. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm pretty sure it's more accurately like the wind is actually blowing really dang hard. Although nothing too serious, don't get me wrong, but as a result though, it blows quite hard. So yeah, I'm fine as it is, so oh, there's something interesting with that that item choice right there, which appears to be the banana train. So that seems kind of cool, even though it almost reminds me of something related to a similar thing, as in, like, if you're trying to able to put up with, like, multiple banana peels at the back of you, from the likes of Mario Kart 64, that basically you would able to actually hold up to, like, I would say 5 bananas for that particular banana peel, but in here though, basically I think it's likely 3 bananas. So, but unlike in the other games that you can able to actually place those bananas at any spots, whilst in here though it's like a time limit system. So basically if you had those bananas at the back of you for too long, then it'll just disappear. So, and what's even worth noting for is the fact that with that fairy I'm holding right now, that this allows you to able to, like, for example, if you get hit by the forms of any other items from any other opponent, you can able to actually restore yourself to able to actually get that little recovery after getting hit by specific items. So that might be a useful item, but only if you're able to use it with either with Miss Pac-Man or Pac-Man. So yeah, I just want to classify that for the sake of the actual exclusive item for sure. So there we go, we basically managed to, well, get into first place as per always. So, yay, there goes our victoriness, or victoryness, I suppose. So, yeah, that's that, and we actually got ourselves the heavy mushroom. So, yeah, that's essentially as far as you can go. And we got ourselves the DK cup. So, 4 cups down, and 4 more to go. So in this case, we are on the halfway point of this Let's Play so far. So, and there comes the challenge game, which is the Koopa Panic. So of course, beat down Koopas using a hammer and get Mario coin by number of KOs. So, yeah, basically, once again, much like the first game, you have to use that specific hammer in order to able to demolish every single Koopas as you can. So I think there's usually about roughly 15 of them. So yeah, not much different from there aside from the actual upbeat music in the background. And as well as from that, you get Mario coins after, like, you know, just keep on, like, demolishing any other Koopas on screen. So yeah, and much like the Evolves About does on the first game, I highly suggest you're able to take itself a bit easier and steady, just in case you don't go too fast on this part. So because of that though, yeah, there's not much right to home about for the sake of this challenge. As a result, it's basically exactly the same thing as the first one, so, or usually the first game in this case, so. And there we go, and I believe we reach up to 15 Mario coins, so I don't know if it's going to be enough, so that way we can able to actually get the next unlockable for the sake of either the picture frame or a new item, or in some cases the secondary cards for one of the characters. So unfortunately though, I didn't seem to able to get that much perfects from the likes of the DK Cup though, but oh well, no big deal. So anyway, so that pretty much leads us to 640 coins, and we got the secondary cards for Yoshi. So, nicely done there. Ah, jeez, but I can't even believe we're on the halfway point of the game already. So, despite the fact it might actually be a bit short again, so. Anyway, so I think we should probably end things off here, so join me next time for Let's Play Mario Kart Arcade GP2. That is the fact that we'll move on to the next cup, which appears to be by the forms of the Wario Cup. So this will be exciting and familiar at the same time. So I'll see you guys on next Saturday. Later, fellas.